Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I chant Canto Swami Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshur-unnmilitam Jena Tasmai Śrī-Gurave Namah. Śrī Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Padamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Śrī Guru Śrī Juta Padakamalam Śrī Gurum Vaishnavasya Śrī Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Sakanita He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Gope Sarvabhya Kanto Radha Kanto Namaste Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shobhanuste Devi Kalavati Panchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhyo Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo 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 Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Shesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Destarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Who would like to continue?
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Tirayat. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is very means to conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance to the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayana Rishi, the foremost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Śrীমতাং শপথা কৃষ্ণ পূর্ণ শ্রবণ কীর্তন হৃদন্তস্থ হি অভদ্রাণি বিদুর্মতি সহিত সতাম. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Parabrahma supersoul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the arts to hear his message, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. নষ্টপ্রায়েষু ভদ্রেষু তম ভাগবত সেবয়া ভগবতী উত্তম শ্লোকে ভক্তির্ভবতি নৈষ্ঠিকী. By regular attendance in the class of Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personal Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai. Okay, Haribol, we will continue from 4:31:19. Who would like to read first?
दया सर्वभूते शान्तियान शान्तियुष्ट येन केव सर्वदयो पास्यते च तुष्यसु जानन् Daya by showing mercy, Sarvabhutesu to all living entities, Santuste by being satisfied, Yana ke somehow or other, Sarva Indriya all the senses, Up, Upsantya by controlling, Cha also, Tutsya becoming satisfied, Asu very soon, Jana the Lord of all living entity. By showing mercy to all living entities, being satisfied somehow or other, and controlling the senses from sense enjoyment, one can very quickly satisfy the personality of God ahead, Jana, Dharna, Papat. Uh, these are some of the way in which Supreme Personality of Godhead can be satisfied by the devotee. The first item mentioned is Daya, Sarva Bhutesu, showing mercy to all conditioned soul. The best, Prabhu. The best way to show mercy is to spread Krishna consciousness. The entity world is suffering for want of the knowledge. People should know that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original cause of everything. Knowing this, everyone should directly engage in his devotional service. Those who are actually learned, advanced in the spiritual understanding, should preach Krishna consciousness all over the world so that the people may take to it and make their lives successful. The word "Sarvabhutesu" is significant because it applies not only to human beings but to all living entity appearing in the 8,40,000 species, 84 lakh species of life. The devotee can do good not only to humanity but to all living entity as well. Everyone can benefit spiritual by the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, Mahamantra. When the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna is sounded, even the trees, animals, and insect benefits. Thus, when one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra loudly, he can actually show mercy to all living entities. To spread the Krishna consciousness movement throughout of the world, the devotee should be satisfied in all conditions. May I continue, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Nara, if I am go wrong, please correct me because I am not good at Sanskrit.
Yes, Prabhu. No problem.
नारायण नारायण प्रः सर्वे न कुतुस् कुत्सन विभयते सर्वगा नारकेश अपि तुल्यतर darisana. It does not matter to pure devotee if he has to go to hell to preach. The Supreme Lord lives in the heart of Hog. Although the Lord is in Vaikuntha, even while preaching in hell, a pure devotee remains a pure devotee by his constant association with the Supreme Personality of God ahead. To attain this state, one has to control his sense. The senses are automatically controlled when one mind is engaged in service of the Lord. अपरत सकलश्च सानः माल्यतमानि अवृतम् इयत भावु भावना पुहत निजो जनो वैसो गौतमम् आत्मनो यान न सरति चिद्रवत् अक्षर सातना ही आपतः vanished सकल all is on desire amala spotless atmani to the mind. May I go with translation or like this also, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. This also.
Okay. Atmani to the mind, every everything constantly either increasing bhavna with feeling, upasahad being called, nija jana of his devotee, vasaha under the control, gatam going, atmana his iron knowing, na never, Sratri goes away, Chidrabhat like the sky, Aksar the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Satam of the devotee, high certainly. Being completely cleaned of all material desire, the devotee are freed from all mental contamination. Trust, they can always think of Lord constantly and address him very feelingly. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, knowing himself to be controlled by his devotee, does not leave them for a second, just as the sky overhead never become invisible. It is a clear from the previous verses that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janardana, is quickly satisfied by the activities of his devotee. The pure devotee is always absorbed in thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As state Sarvanavatam Savakech Krishna, by always thinking of Krishna, the pure devotee heart is free from all kind of desire. In the material world, the heart of the living entity is filled with the material desire. When the living entity is cleaned, he does not think of anything material. As the mind is completely cleaned, one attain the perfectional stage of mystic yoga. For then the yogi always sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart. As soon as the Lord is seated within the heart of the devotee cannot be contaminated by the material modes of nature. As long as a one is under the control of the material mode, he desires so many things and makes so many plans for a material sense enjoyment. As soon as the Lord is perceived perceived in the heart, all material desire vanish. When the mind is complete free from material desire, the devotee can think of Lord constantly. In this way, he become completely depend upon the lotus feet of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pray, "E Ainanda Tanuja Kin Ki Karma Potima Mama Bhisma ভাবদু কৃপা তত্ত্ব পদা পঙ্কজ Sithita Dusali Prabhu, what is that?
Pitaduli.
Sudadurya Vichenya. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing properly. My dear Lord, I am your eternal servant, but somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of this material world. Kindly pick me up and fix me as specks of dust at your lotus feet. Similarly, Srila Natumma Dasa Thakur prays, Haha, Prabhu Nanda Sutta, Prabhu no Sutta Yuto, Karuna Kare Ei Baro, Natrum Dasa Kaye, Na Tehli, Tehlio Rang Payo, Toma Vini Ke Ache Amara. My dear Lord, you are now present with the daughter of King Vaishnavanu Smriti Radharani. Now, both of you, please be merciful upon me. Do not kick me away because I have no shelter other than you. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes dependent on his devotee. The Lord is invincible, yet he is conquered by his pure devotee. He enjoys being dependent on his devotee. Just Krishna enjoyed being dependent on the mercy of Mother Yasoda, thinking himself depend on the devotee, give the Supreme Lord great enjoyment. Some Sometimes a king may engage a joker, and in the process of joking, the king is sometimes insulted. The king, however, enjoy these activities. Everyone worship the Supreme Lord with the greatest reverence. Therefore, the Lord sometimes want to enjoy the chastisement of his devotee. In this way, the relationship eternally exists between the Lord and his devotee is fixed just like the sky overhead. Text 21. Na bhajati kumisa sa ija hiridhana hirida Prabhu. Srut hiridhan hiridhana madhano priyo रसज्ञः सूत्र श्रुतधन नकुल कन्मन मैदेर्य विद्रता पाप कृजानेशेष्टु. Prabhu, may I see the explanation or translation? Na, never. Bhajati except kumanasami of a person with the dirty heart. Saha he is Isyama offering Hariha the Supreme Lord, Adhana to those who have no material possession, Atmadhana simply dependent on the Lord, Pyaha who is dear, Rasa Janaha who accept the essence of life, Shrut education, Dhanaha wealth, Kulaha aristocratry, uh, Karmana and of fruitive activities, Madha by pride, ye all those who Vidhati perform or papam disgrace akhinesu without material possession, satsu on to devotee. This translation: the supreme personality of Godhead become very dear to those devotees who have no material possession but are fully happy in possessing the devotional service of the Lord. Indeed, the Lord realizes the devotional activity of such devotees, those who are puffed up with the material educational wealth, aristocracy, and fruitive activity are very proud of possessing material things, and they often dread the devotees. Even if such people offer the Lord worship, the Lord never accepts them. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is depend on his pure devotee. He does not even accept the offering of those who are not devotees. A pure devotee is one who feels he does not possess anything material. A devotee is always happy in possessing the devotional service. Uh, Devotional. Just a second. Devotees sometimes material poor, but because they are spiritual advanced and enriched, they are most of their dear to supreme personality of Godhead. Such devotees are free from the attachment to family, society, friendship, children, and so on. They are abandoned affection for all these material possession and are always happy in possessing the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. The supreme personality of Godhead understand the possession of his devotee. If a person reads a pure devotee, he is never recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, the Supreme Lord never excuse one who offered a pure devotees. There are many examples of this in a history. A great mystic yogi, Durvasa Muni, often the great devotee of Amrasa Maharaj, the great sage Durvasa was to chastised by the Sudarshana Chakra of the Lord. Even Hare Krishna Prabhu, a Muni, often the great devotee Amrasa Maharaj, the great sage Durvasa was to chastised by the Sudarshana Chakra of the Lord. Even though the greatest mystic directly approached the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was never excused. Those onto the path of the liberation should be very careful not to offend a pure devotee. Prabhu, is there? I am requesting anybody, please uh, pronounce the Sanskrit word because I am not good at it. Please, if there was
I can pronounce Prabhu, then you can.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, I said that I can pronounce, and then you can read the translation.
Please, please.
Shriyam Anucharitam Tad Arthinascha Dvipadapati'n Vibudhamscha Yat Swapurnaha न भजति निजभृत्यवर्गतन्त्र कथम् अमुं विसृजेत् पुमान् कृतज्ञा Shriyan, the goddess of fortune, Anucharitam, who follows him, Tat, of her, Arthina, those who aspire to get the favor of, Cha, and Dvipadapatin, rulers of the human beings, Vibhudan, demigods, Cha, also, yet, because Swapurna, self-sufficient, never Bhajati cares for Nija own Britya Varga on his devotees Tantra dependent Katam how among him with Visrijit can give up Puman, a person, Kritagnya, grateful.
Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is self-sufficient, he becomes dependent on his devotee. He does not care for the goddess of fortune, nor for the king and demigod who are after the favor of the goddess of fortune. Where is the person who is actually grateful and will not worship personality of Godhead? Lakshmi, the goddess of the fortune, is worshipped by all materialistic men, including big king and demigod in heaven. Lakshmi, however, is always after the supreme personality of Godhead, even though he does not require her service. Brahma Samhita say that the Lord is worshipped by hundred and thousand of goddess of fortune, but the Supreme Lord does not require service from any of them, because if he so desire, he can produce million of goddess of fortune through his spiritual energy, the pleasure potency. This very personality of Godhead, out of his closest mercy, become dependent on the devotee. How fortune then is a devotee who is thus a favor by personality of Godhead. What is an ungrateful devotee will not worship the Lord and enter into his devotional service. Actually, a devotee cannot forget his obligation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead even for a single moment. Srila Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur says that the Supreme Lord and his devotee are rasajana, full of transcendental humor. The mutual attachment between the Supreme Lord and his devotee is never Supreme Lord and his devotee is never to consider material. It's always exists as a transcendental fact. There are eight type of transcendental states known as a bhava, anubhava, satyabhava, and so on. And these are discussed in the nectar of devotion. Those who are uh, the mutual attachment. Just one is devotee, always one. Those who are unaware of the position of the living entity and the Supreme Person, Krishna, think that the mutual attachment between the Lord and his devotee is creation of the material energy. Factually, such attachment is natural both for Supreme Lord and for devotee, and it cannot be accepted as material.
Can you scroll through?
Rishikesh, Rishikesh Prabhu,
Yes, bro.
please.
Yes, bro. Text 23. Maitreya Uvacha Iti Prachetaso Rajan Anyascha Bhagavatkatha Shravaya Shravayitva Brahmalokam Yayau Swayambhuvo Mani Maitreya Uvacha Maitreya said, Iti thus Prachetasa, the Prachetas, Rajan, O king, Anya others cha also Bhagavat Katha, topics about the relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shravayitva, after instructing Brahmalokam to Brahmaloka, Yayau went back Swayambhuva, the son of Brahma, Lord Brahma, Muni, the great sage.
Prabhu, Swami Prabhu. The great sage The great sage continued, My dear King Vindra, Sri Narad Muni, the son of Lord Brahma, thus describe all this relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead to Pratis, Pratisus after he returned to the Brahmaloka. One has to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead from a pure devotee. The Pratis got the opportunity, the great sage Narad, who told them of the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotee.
Text 24. Te pitamyaka niryatam yasya loka malabha hare nishamya tatpadam dhyayantas tadgatim yayo te the prachetas. Api also tat of Narada Mukha from the mouth niryatam gone forth yasya glorification loka of the world mala since apaham destroying Hare of Lord Hari nishamya having heard that of the Lord padam feet dhyayanta meditating upon Tadgatim unto his abode went.
Hearing from the Narad's mouth the glories of the Lord, which vanish all this fortune of the world, they also become the attached of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Meditating on his lotus feet, they advance to ultimate destination. Here it's seen that by hearing the glory of the Lord from realized devotee, practitioners easily attain a strong attachment for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then, meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord at the end of their lives, they advance to the ultimate goal. Vishnu Loka, it is ultimate goal Vishnu Loka. It's sure and certain that anyone who had always heard the glories of the Lord and think of his lotus feet will reach that supreme destination, as Krishna say in a Bhagavad Gita, मन भाव मद भक्तो माद यजी मम नामस्कुरु मम एवस्य सत्यमे ते प्रतिजने प्रियोसि me. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Hare Krishna Rishikesh Prabhu.
Yes, bro. Text 25. Etate vivitam shattar yannam tvam varipishtavan prachetasam naradasya samvadam harikirtanam etat this te unto you abhihitam instructed shatta o vidura yet whatever mam unto me tvam you pariprishtvan inquired prachetasam of the prachetas naradasya of narada Samvadam, conversation, Harikirtanam, describing the glories of the Lord.
My dear Vidruha, I have told you everything you wanted to know about the conversation between Narad and the Prachista, the conversation describing the glories of the Lord. I have related this far as possible. Purport: Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam describes the glories of the Lord and his devotee because the whole subject matter in the glorification of the Lord naturally and glorification of devotee automatically follows.
Text 26. Shri Shuka Uvacha Yaesha Uttanapado Manas Manavasya Nu Varnita Vamsha Priya Vrta Syapi Niboda Nripasattama Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Yah which Esha is dynasty Uttanapada of King Uttanapada, Manavasya of the son Swayambhu Manu, Anuvarnita described following the footprints of previous acharyas. Vamsha dynasty Priyavrutasya of King Priyavrta. Api also Niboda try to understand Ripasattama, how best of kings.
Sukadev Goswami continued, O best of King Praksit, I have now finished telling about the descendant of the first son of Swambhuva Manu, Utpadaha. I shall now to try to relate the activities of the descendant of Prevratra, the second son of Swambhuva Manu. Please hear them attentively. Dhruv Maharaj was this puppet. Dhruv Maharaj was the son of King Utnapada, and as far as the descendant of Dhruv Maharaj or King Utpadan are concerned, their activities are described up to the point of pat, uh, Patishas. Now Sri Sukadev uh, Goswami described the descendant of Maharaj Priyavrata, the second son of Sambhu Manu.
Text 27. यो नारदात् आत्मविद्यम् अधिगम्य पुनर्महे भुक्त्वात् विभज्य पुत्रेभ्य ऐश्वरं समगतपदाम्. Yeah, one who Naradat from the great sage Narada, Atma Vidyam, spiritual knowledge, Adigamya, after learning Puna again, Mahim, the earth, Bhukva, after enjoying Vibhajya, after dividing Putribhya. You can scroll to, and to his sons, Aishwaram transcendental Samavat achieved Padam position.
Although Maharaj Priyavrata received the instruction from the great sage Narada, he is still engaged in ruling the earth. After fully enjoying material possession, he divided his property amongst his sons. He then attained a position by which he could return home back to Godhead.
Text 28. Vinantu Kaushara Vino Pravarnitam Shatta वादसत्कथन प्रवृद्धभवो श्रुकलकुलो मुनेर्दधारमूर्ध्ना चरणं हृदहरे. Imam all this to then Kausharvina by Maitreya Upavarnitam described Shatta Vidura Nishamya after hearing Ajitavada, glorification of the Supreme Lord, Satkatham, transcendental message, Pravriddha enhanced Bhava, ecstasies, Ashto of tears, Kala by particles, Akula, Apravu, Akula
My
overwhelmed,
dear king,
oh, I'm not finished actually. Akula overwhelmed, Mune of the great stage, Dadara, have captured Murtna by the head, Saranam of the lotus feet, Hida by the heart, Hare of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
My dear king, in this way, after hearing the transcendental message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotee from the great sage Maitreya, Vidura was overwhelmed with ecstasy, with tear in his eyes. He immediately fell down at the lotus feet of his Guru, his spiritual master. He then fixed the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the core of his heart. Uh, sound puppet. This is a sign of associating with the great devotee. A devotee take instruction from liberated soul and thus overwhelmed by scarcity from transcendental pleasure, as stated by the Prahlad Maharaj. Nahisama matis tava urkama grima spristisya anand अनन्तापागमो यद अर्थः महायस्मः पदराजो विवे विस विस्कं निस्किन् च नामः न वृन्दः यावत्. One cannot become a perfect devotee of Lord without having touched the lotus feet of great devotee. One who has nothing to do with this material world is called Nischinna. Nischinna. The process of self-realization and the path home back to Godhead means surrendering to the bona fide spiritual master and taking the dust of his lotus feet on one head. Trust one advance on the path of transcendental realization. Viduraha had this relationship with the Maitreya and he attained the result.
Text 29. Vira Uvacha Soyam Adhyanaha Yogin Bhavata Karunatmana Darshitas Tamasa Paro Yatra Kinjanago Pari Vidura Uvacha Vidura said Saha that I am thus this Adya today Mahayogin of great mystic Bhavata by you Karuna Atmana most merciful Darshita I have been shown Tamasa of the darkness para the other side Yatra where Akinchanaga approachable by the materially free Hari the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
The Vrinda said, O great mystic, O great of all devotee, by your causeless mercy I have been shown the path liberation from this world of darkness. By following this path, a person liberated from the material world can return home back to Godhead. Puppet, this material called is Tamaha, dark, Tamaha dark, and the spiritual world is called light. The Vedas enjoy that everyone should try to get out of this darkness and go to the kingdom of light. Information of the kingdom of light can be attained through the mercy of self-realized soul. One also has to get rid of all material desire. As soon as one frees himself from material desire and associates with the liberate person, the path back home, back to Godhead is clear.
Text 30 Shri Shukavacha iti anamya tam amantriya viduro gajas sahvayam swanam titrikshu prayo Jnatinam Nirvitasya Shri Shukavacha Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Iti thus Ananya, offering obeisance term unto Maitreya, Amantriya, taking permission Vidura, Gaja Savayam, the city of Hastinapura, Swanam Om Ditruksha, desiring to see Prayo, left that place, Yantinam, of his kinsmen, Nirvita Asya, free from material desires.
Sukadev Goswami continue, Vindura thus offered obeisance unto the great sage Maitreya and taking his permission started for the city of Hastinapura to see his own kinsman, although he had no material desire. When saintly person wants to see see his kinsman, he has no material desire to see them. He simply wants to give them some instructions so that they can benefit. Vidura belonged to the royal family of Kaurav, and although he knew that all the family members were destroyed at the Battle of Kurukshetra, he nothing less wanted to see his elder brother Dhritarashtra to see if he could deliver him from the clutches of Maya. When uh, when a great saintly person like Vidura sees his relative, he desires only to deliver them from the clutches of Maya. Vidura thus offered his respectful obeisance to his spiritual master and departed for the city of Hastinapur, the kingdom of Kauravas.
Text 31 Etak Shrunuyat Yah Shrunuyat Rajan Ratnam Arpitatmanam Ayurdhanam Yasya Swasti Gatim Aishwaryam Apnuyat Etat this Yah one who Shrunuyat hears Rajan, O King Parikshit Rajam of kings Hari to the personality of Godhead Arpita Atmana who have given their life and soul, ayu, duration of life, dhanam, wealth, yasha, reputation, swasti, good fortune, gati, the ultimate goal of life, aishwarya, material opulence, apnuyati, achieves.
Translation: O king, those who hear these topics about king who are completely surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead obtain without difficulty a long life, wealth, good, good reputation, good fortune, and ultimately the opportunity to return home back to Godhead. Trust and the Bhakti-Vedanta purport of the fourth Canto, 31st chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Narada instruct the Pratishaha. End of the fourth Canto.
Haribol.
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 Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, now we go to six Ashtakam prayers.
Can I start, bro?
Yes, Prabhu.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहातावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यापतो जीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्. Should I continue or if somebody wants to?
Oh my Lord, may I?
Prabhu, translation.
Translation, may I continue?
No, Prabhu, you have to read the verse.
Oh. Nama Nama Akri Bondhu Niji Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Nihamita Samarana Na Kala Etradisha Tavo Kripa Bhagavana Mamapi Druvadhami Idrisam Iyajani Nagurah. Sorry for my mistake. Rishikesh Prabhu, please continue. Sorry.
Yes, Prabhu. नाम्नामकारि बहुधानि च सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन्ममापि दुर्दैवमित्रशम् इहाजनि नारनाग्रह जनादपि शनिचयनातरोरपि सहिष्णुमानि नमामि तेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां जगदीशकामयि मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहितु की त्वयि पैनन्नुतनचिकिङ्करं पतितं मां विषमे भवान् बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गदश्रुधारया वदनं गदगदहृदया गिरा पुलकेतनिचितं वपुकथा तव नामग्रहणे भविष्यति युगायितं निमिषेण चक्षुषा प्रावृष्यायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहीनमे आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनष्टु मां प्रदर्शनामर्महतां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधाचलं पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्य स एव नापरः. Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benedictions to the living beings, and thus your hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda in these transcendental names are invested, all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of your kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by chanting your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking once it lower and destroying the street. One should be more tolerant than tree, devoid of all sense of auspicious and ready to offer respect to others in such a state of mind. One can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire to keep anyone, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. With some or other, I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death. Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh Govinda, feeling your separation and considering a moment to be like 12 years ago, tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly in his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Tu Shikshashtakam Jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Jai.
Jai.
Bhujan Kari Yadi Shravana Kirtana Tabutana Prayat Krishna Prade Premadana. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name of the Lord for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First offense is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second offense is to consider the name of gods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third offense to disobey the orders of spiritual master or consider him as an ordinary person. Fourth offense to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic virgin. Fifth offense to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to our imagination. Sixth offense to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh offense to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Eighth offense to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma kanda. Ninth offense to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. And tenth offense to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Vanchakalpatarubhischa kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.